Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Paula, and this is the channel where we talk about crypto without shouting, without ridiculous price targets, and without pretending certainty exists where it doesn't. I'm not here to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm here to help you understand why things behave the way they do, so you can make calmer, more informed decisions over time. And today feels like the right moment to talk about XRP again, because it's January the 1st. XRP didn't explode overnight. There was no $10 candle, no $50 candle, no I told you so moment. And honestly, that shouldn't surprise anyone. But the reaction to that silence tells us a lot. Some people are frustrated. Some people are confused. Some people feel like something is being held back. Others are wondering whether XRP is underperforming entirely. So instead of arguing with emotions, I want to do something more useful. I want to talk about what would actually cause XRP to reprice, why XRP doesn't behave like a normal altcoin, and why price can feel suppressed without the project being weak. And I want to do it all calmly, with context, not timelines. Let's start with the obvious. A lot of people quietly expected something to happen at the turn of the year. New year, new cycle, new chapter. And when nothing happened, the disappointment wasn't really about price, it was about expectation. Because XRP has carried a narrative for a long time. Not a meme narrative, not a hype narrative, a utility narrative. And when you hold an asset like that, silence can feel louder than volatility. But here's the first thing we need to ground ourselves in. Markets do not reprice on calendars. They reprice on conditions. And XRP is one of the clearest examples of why that matters. One of the biggest mistakes people make with XRP is comparing it to speculative altcoins. XRP does not behave like a low cap layer 1. It does not behave like a meme coin. It does not behave like a retail momentum asset. And if you expect it to, you'll always feel disappointed. XRP has a very different holder base. A large portion of XRP supply has been held for years, not weeks. There's far less reflexive trading than people assume. And critically, a lot of interest in XRP does not express itself through public exchange order books. That matters. Because most people think price discovery only happens on the charts they're watching. In reality, large participants don't always buy in a way that moves the public price aggressively. They use OTC desks, they structure trades, they manage impact. That's not suppression. That's how large money behaves. So when people say, if demand was real, why hasn't price moved? The honest answer is, because not all demand is price forming in the same way. That's one reason XRP feels different. Another reason XRP doesn't behave like a normal altcoin is its intended role. XRP wasn't designed to be a viral asset. It was designed to function as liquidity, and liquidity assets behave differently. If an asset is too volatile, it's unreliable as a bridge. If it's too easily moved, it becomes expensive to use at scale. So paradoxically, some of the things retail traders dislike, stability, absorption, range-bound behaviour, are the things that make XRP useful. That doesn't mean price won't move. It means price moves after conditions change, not before. Now let's address the elephant in the room. A lot of people feel like XRP is suppressed. And I want to be really careful here, because dismissing that feeling outright isn't helpful. But feeding conspiracy isn't either. So here's my grounded explanation. When an asset has deep liquidity pools, large resting orders, long-term holders, and institutional style accumulation, price often gets absorbed, not launched. Buy pressure doesn't explode price, it gets soaked up. Sell pressure doesn't collapse price, it gets cushioned. From the outside, this feels unnatural if you're used to thin markets. From the inside, it's exactly what maturing liquidity looks like. So no, that doesn't mean XRP is weak, and it doesn't automatically mean manipulation. It means structure more than sentiment. This is the most important part of the video. Not when, not how high, but what conditions would need to change. XRP reprices when visible liquidity on public markets change. Sustained transactional flow increases. Demand becomes price forming, not absorbed. Market confidence shifts from speculation to usage. That doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen on January 1st. And it doesn't happen because someone said it would. It happens when the role XRP is designed for becomes unavoidable. That's why I remain slightly bullish. Not because I expect fireworks tomorrow, but because the long-term thesis makes sense. Now, if you believe in XRP as a long-term project, and I do, then we need to talk about something that often gets skipped: risk. If price isn't exploding and you're holding for the long term, then exchange risk matters more than price action. Exchanges fail, platforms freeze withdrawals, rules change. History has been very clear on that. Long-term conviction without custody is not conviction, it's exposure. Which is why I want to talk briefly about cold storage. This is why I personally use Tangem. Tangem is a cold storage wallet that lets you hold your crypto off exchanges in a way that's simple, secure, and realistic for long-term holders. If you're sitting in assets like XRP, waiting for conditions, not candles, then custody matters. Using a cold wallet removes counterparty risk. It gives you control. It aligns your setup with your time horizon. I don't talk about products I wouldn't use myself, especially in a market like this. If you want to check out Tangem, I've got a link and a discount code in the description below. Tangem are currently running a New Year's sale, and if you use my discount Paula, you will get another 10% off. So let's bring all of this together. XRP didn't explode on January 1st, but that doesn't mean the thesis is broken, the project has failed, or nothing is happening. It means the asset is behaving exactly how you'd expect for something that sits between retail speculation and institutional infrastructure. That's uncomfortable, that's slow, and that doesn't reward impatience. But long-term projects rarely do. I'm not here to tell you XRP is guaranteed to do anything. What I'm here saying is, if you understand why XRP behaves the way it does, you stop needing constant reassurance from price. And that's where you can actually think clearly. If you're holding long term, think about custody, think about structure, think about conditions, not calendars. If you found this useful, give it a like. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want more grounded, long-form conversations about crypto without the hype. And let me know in the comments. Do you think XRP is being misunderstood? Or are the expectations the real problem? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.